Nigeria Info.
Yes, Nigerians, we know that things are not the best right now. In fact, the last few years has not been the easiest with inflation, job insecurity, and soaring living costs. Now, if you are looking to snap out of it, break that chain, snatch that chain, then this is the time to take charge of your finances in the new year. Join the FXTM Academy on Saturday, January the 18th, 2025 at 10 a.m. at number 5, Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Learn how to trade and grow your income. Text yes to the number 003-457-3593. That is 003-457-3593 to reserve your seats. Note, it is free and there are limited seats available. You'll be learning from top industry experts, guys like Matthew, Anthony, and of course Pius Ubu, who will share simple, guidances and tips on ways to succeed in the financial market and help you trade just like a pro. Now, we have amazing gifts for the first 50 people who register. Remember, it's free, and all you have to do is text yes to 003-457-3593. This is your chance to build a great future for yourself. Text yes to that number 003-457-3593. Remember, spaces are limited and attendance is free, but make sure that you know that spaces are limited. Let us help you take the next step towards financial growth in the new year. Yes to 003-457-3593. Do the thing.
In a world filled with dreams and aspirations, there are those who dare to turn their visions into reality. They are the backbone of our economy, the small, medium, and big businesses that drive us forward. From the quaint corner stores on Broad Street to the local boutiques and small businesses in Balogun, medium-sized businesses fuel the engine of growth, providing job opportunities for countless individuals. These businesses form the lifeblood of our economy, working hand in hand to create a thriving ecosystem of commerce and prosperity. On Balogun Broad, we celebrate the resilience and ingenuity of small, medium, and big businesses. We don't just keep an eye on the stock exchange market, we're in touch with our local markets too. Join us every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m. on Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Indeed, let's talk. It's Balogun Broad, and today we're flooding the streets of Balogun Broad Street because this business affects all of us. We're talking telcos and the new tariff hike. My guest, I'm seeing him for the first time this year, so Happy New Year to you. Muktah Mohammed is an economist, and always a pleasure to have him join us in the studio.
Thank you, Maryann. My joy to be on your program today. Thank you.
Perfect.
Happy New Year. And you are looking different.
Am I looking different? How have I lost weight or have added weight? Which one?
I'm not in the studio to know that, but your face looks very good.
Okay, it's good. It's good. Anyway, Mr. Mohammed, I beg your pardon. Let's start with the fact that every single Nigerian has been hoping that 2025 would somewhat come with some ease. I don't know whether we're going to be hoping for that to happen by hook or by crook or by magic, but because 2024 was a very tough year for us, we were all hoping that in 2025 there will be no renewed hike in the price of petrol, in the price of electricity, let alone the one that we use in communicating, which is our telephones. But then the first news that we heard was that there might be a tariff hike, and then there was a press release to say, there's not going to be any such thing, there's no tariff hike. And then fast forward, the Minister for Communications comes out to tell us that there will be a tariff hike for telcos. However, he assured us that the government will not approve 100% of telecom operators' push for this hike. Is this some sort of an appeasement, or so that you don't feel how bad the pain will be, or this is just them trying to ease it on us, they phasing it? Tell us what you think.
Maryann, we'll be deceiving ourselves if we think that there won't be a tariff hike. With all fairness, the GSM operators, I think that has been the only stable price that we've had. Remember when we started some years back, SMS used to be 15 naira, they brought it to 4 naira. And that has been there. Call has not changed for the years, despite all the inflation and pressure. There's nothing that is the same again. Even government-owned bills, tariff for electricity was high over 300%. So you can't blame them for wanting to hike tariff, which is expected. It will be it's a no-brainer. So anybody that thinks that they will not be hiking tariff is just deceiving themselves, whether the minister wants it at 30%, at 100%, at 50%. Ordinarily, you because of the way we operate, you go through the NCC, which is a regulator of this telecom. Ordinary is just like do DSTV go through a particular step before they increase their price? They just do it because that's a private business option, and either you use it or not. But the delicate nature is very delicate when it comes to telecom. Every country globally has a regulators, and so that's why they are in there. But I think it's not if they will be. It's just a matter of time. The telecom will definitely have to increase tariff.
Let's for the average Nigerian who doesn't even understand why there's this tariff increase, because you and I obviously we kind of understand the overhead costs. In fact, running a business in this recent economic climate, a couple of people might not understand, but if you do own a business at any level, or even just drive a car, you understand that there is some sort of change or shift. What are some of the reasons, including operational costs, that has necessitated this telco hike? I know you're not in the industry, but you are obviously an economist and a numbers guy, so you have an idea. Explain to my listener who's an ordinary Nigerian that needs to understand why this also has to go up.
Maryann, is just as a result of the exchange rate. It's nothing more. The exchange rate have gone up by almost 200%. And this telecom, most of what they use, they import it. And so what we're seeing now, if you look at some of the telecom, if you follow them, those that are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, realize that they are doing huge losses. And this as a result of would I call it the right pricing of the naira, or the floating of the naira, or the devaluation of the naira, whatever name you want to call it, that is what is responsible. So the current challenge why they want to hide their fee is just for that singular reason that cost of, like you said, cost has gone up, and not just gone up by 10%, 20%, we're talking about 300%. A company like MTN declared a loss in terms of FS losses of over 500 billion. Almost 500, about 500 billion. And that has also affected their shareholders form. Some of them, their shareholders form is in the negative. That's why you see a company like MTN is coming to the market to do commercial papers because they cannot even borrow from the bank because of the high interest rate. So they have to go and get commercial papers that the rate is better for them. So what we are saying is that there's not enough fund for them to run their operation. And maybe you've not noticed, even these days when you make call, there's a lot of fake call. The calls are not clear. All this because they've not been any new investment in that sector, and they cannot do any new investment because of the cost of those goods, and also they can't be doing that at the same price. So that's basically what the problem is. So then what the problem is that most of these telecom have issues, and this is largely driven because of FX. Both with Airtel Africa, the Nigerian company, which used to be the largest contributor of profit, they were at a negative because of like I said, the floating of the naira. So that is the main reason. Every other reasons are just because most of what they use they import. But again, you must give it to also the telco. They are beginning to see how they can localize some of their items that they use, so that they are working on. But for now, the high cost in terms of exchange rate is affecting them. And you mustn't forget that this telecom run their base station strictly on diesel. Diesel also has gone up. It's not the same price that it. So there's a lot of implication that it has gone there in terms of this telecom. That's why they want to increase price, of course.
So for example, I mean, when it comes to electricity, we knew the percentage of the tariff hike. When it came to petrol, it was, they told us what the percentage was. Even though the communications minister is telling us that the federal government will not let them. Does it mean that the federal government is going to somewhat, what's the word? Subsidize, support these companies? What exactly will the government be doing? Because from your explanation, I mean, there are also players in this sector, in this economy, whether we like it or not, and whatever is hitting all the businesses is also hitting hard on them. And if they decide that they want to have an increment of sorts, and the government is saying, well, we won't let you increase at 100%, what should be the incentive that the government would give them for them to not have a total 100% increase?
I think what the government have been saying thus far, why they will not allow them to increase tariff. Remember that there was supposed to be what we call a communication tax of about 5%. So the government suspended that. The government was holding on that. So that is why they've not been able to increase their prices, because that's what the government is telling them. You don't pay VAT on some of these things. You don't pay tax on some of this equipment that comes in. So maybe there will be a midway between that. Maybe the government will allow them increase tariff and still also make sure that they don't pay that what the reduction in terms of their levies, because that's the only reason why I can see why the government is saying that. Because again, like I said, if you look at electricity, it was increased by over 200%. If you look even at the petroleum product was increased also at that over 200%. So even if the telecom decide to do a 100% increment, ordinarily it shouldn't have been bad. But again, because of the critical nature of the telecommunication, that also will have an impact on every Nigerian, because virtually every Nigerian owns a cell phone now and operate in one area, make calls or data. Or so for me, I think maybe the government would find a way to see, okay, you can only increase because we are going to give you a little bit of it, or maybe they will come to a conclusion on the timing. It might not be immediately 100%. Maybe you see 50%. You see then the next year. Those are part of. I think those are part of ongoing discussion. But like I said, it's not whether it will happen. It's just when
it will happen. Okay, let me read directly what the communications minister said. He said, you have seen over the past weeks that there have been agitation from some of these companies to increase tariff. They are requesting for 100% tariff increase, but I will not be okay. He says, but it will not be by 100%. We're still looking at that study, and the NCC will come up with a clear directive on how we will go about it. He also went on to say, we want to strike a balance as a government to protect our people, but also protect and ensure that these companies can continue to invest significantly. We need to ensure that as a sector, we get our acts together, ensure that from the regulation side, we put the right regulations in place that can ensure growth of this sector. Again, I want to ask, is the minister saying that the telcos have not been properly regulated? They've not been looking into it. What exactly do you gather he's saying in this statement?
I think we have to give it to the minister with all due respect. I think he's a minister that is trying to carry Nigeria. Remember, the power minister was making excuses for all the power companies why they have to increase tariff, why they have to increase it at that percentage. But at least this current minister is also seeing where there can be a cushion that will help Nigeria not to see the kind of hike that is supposed to come in. They know the truth. NCC is working. They know how much these guys pay in terms of importing of some of their material. They know how much they spend in powering all their base stations all over the country. They also have to provide security for those base stations. So a lot of things goes in the overhead cost when you look at most of all these telecom companies. So I think we must say that the minister has done well. He's trying to see where they could have a middle point, whereby so that we will not have the kind of tariff that ordinarily we should have from there. So we should we should give him. In the area of regulation, I think the telecom has been one of the most regulated sector in Nigeria outside the banking sector, which is being regulated by the Central Bank of Nigeria, because they are really highly regulated, even those that are involved in data. Remember of recent, the telecom they also threatened to suspend Elon Musk's internet company in Nigeria for increasing data tariff, and they had to withdraw and then return back to their old price. So it shows you that the regulators are on top of the game. I think that's one sector we have seen consistency in terms of regulators, whether it's the former, whether it's the new one. There seems to be a synergy, there seems to be a roadmap on how they want to run the telecom sector. So for me, I think the minister have done well. Then the telecom will also sit down with him, and they know how there'll be a balance somewhere, because of course, sitting down here, if you look at, like I said, most of what they do, they import. So when you look at that, you see that there's no reason why we should not see even up to 200% in terms of rate. But again, let's see, because again, exchange rate, like I said, that's mainly what they are talking about. And we see it in the result that they post in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Like the MTN entirely is shareholders' fund have been wiped off entirely. So that's why they don't even they either go to the bank or go to do commercial paper, which they are rightly doing now, because it will be more expensive for them to go to the bank. So I'm not surprised, but I think we must kudos to the minister for even having Nigeria in mind, especially when you compare it to what happened in the power sector.
The average Nigerian at least could buy 100 naira airtime and make a call, and sometimes load 100 naira and can quickly send a WhatsApp message. But that means that this is all going to change. Also knowing that 100 naira buys nothing anymore. In fact, maybe 2 bags of pure water. How is this going to significantly change the life of the average person, including the man that carries your load in the market, that you can call and say, come and meet me at the gate of Balogun and help me take this thing to? How is this? Because we're talking Balogun and Broad here, we're talking about day-to-day lives, and our day-to-day lives actually, and businesses, are on this telephone.
Yeah, I think, like I said, after the banking sector, one sector that have huge impact on the life of every Nigerian is the telecom sector. That sector also have provided more jobs for Nigeria. That sector has been one sector that have helped businesses grow more than ever before. So definitely, when there is a hike, then there will be an increment in some of these businesses in terms of, like you have pointed out, some of them will have to raise their prices, especially those that have to mostly deal with telecommunication. Like you said, sending of WhatsApp. You just made mention these days, you stay in the comfort of your home, you send WhatsApp message for them to deliver the reply. So I think that also will be, we definitely, what it means is that the cost of services it will go up. And naturally, Nigeria, once one sector raise price because of one increment in tariff, all other sector will tell you the same thing. Even the woman, these days when you go to the market, the woman will tell you that we are using dollar. We are using dollar.
Ghana dollar.
So it says it's the dollar. That's the cost of the hike. So you can imagine now when it's telecom that actually affects that woman. Definitely, you shouldn't be surprised what you see. So for me, I think it's a no-brainer. Cost of goods will go up. That will affect the average life of Nigeria. And so what we will see now, most Nigerians might not be doing voice calls so much, because I think voice call might be the one that will have the higher price in terms of tariff. Where maybe data will still be a little bit cheaper, because again, with the advance of technology, data is getting cheaper by the day. So
more conversation.
We'll be right back.
Talk, more right after this.
Anything I want.
Mama, they don't dash me 20,000 naira. Wolf.
My pikin, who they dash 20,000 naira for this kind time?
That they dash everybody will get smart cash account 20,000 20,000 naira.
You mean them go dash me 20,000 naira a wolf too?
Yes, so mama. That they dash all old and new smart cash users 20,000 naira a wolf.
Oh yeah, tell your yard people make them dial star 939 hash or download Smart Cash app to open their own account. Make themselves enjoy 20k a wolf. Every time when you buy airtime or pay bills with Smart Cash, you go chop inside your 20k. Terms and conditions they shall.
I don't see my own a wolf. Oh.
Smart Cash, powered by Airtel.
Auntie, you are enjoying, oh, only you. Peppered rice, amala, nkwobi, masa, cake, and now ice cream. I hope you have Justifies on you.
Justifies? I never leave home without it.
That's right, Justifies, the new natural effervescent powder for an instant refreshing relief from heartburn and stomach indigestion. Just add Justifies into a cup of water, drink, and you're good to go. Justifies, your relief on the go. Justifies is from the House of Justeed. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Made and marketed by Ranbaxy Nigeria Limited, a Sun Pharma company.
You define better odd. I be you one play cause over 1.5. I be you one bet say both seem no go score at all. Yeah, we get better payout. No worry, we there for you. Our odd chapter out. In a day for bet baba. You feel with money, bet baba. Cash out today easy or bet baba. We get online games for you to play. Oh God, yeah. We get better bonus. And give me no dado. Yeah, now bet baba day so. Cash out no sharp. No darling, no. Welcome to Bet Baba.
Register now on betbaba.ng. Not for people under 18.
Success is like a big mansion. You only see the magnificent edifice, not the strong foundation that holds it. Likewise, in the world of e-payments, you only see transactions done and funds remitted. But who pioneered these financial technology solutions? Well, you knew it as Value Card, now Unified Payments, Nigeria's premier financial technology service provider. Yes, it starts here. Find out more at www.up-ng.com.
Unified Payments, innovations that work for you.
Mommy, you want to watch YouTube?
Not my phone again. Every time YouTube.
Oh, mommy, you want to watch YouTube?
You want to watch YouTube? Not with my phone. Go and watch TV.
But there's no YouTube on our TV.
That's before. With the new Airtel Smart Router, for just 25,000 naira, you can watch YouTube and more on any TV, even our own TV.
Really? Yay! Thank you, Mommy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Turn any TV into a smart TV with the Airtel Smart Router and watch Nollywood movies, football, and lots more on YouTube with unlimited data for 30 days. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
When you have bars in the sky, onboard showers, and award-winning in-flight entertainment, it's no surprise that Emirates was recently named the best airline in the world. We fly you to over 140 destinations, and with partners across the globe, we connect you to another 1,700 cities across 6 continents. So when we say we're also the largest international airline, what we really mean is, if you're going there, so are we. Book now on Emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Did you miss out on the I Beg to Differ online auditions? This is another opportunity to make history. On Saturday, January the 25th, the I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Auditions comes to life at the Nigeria Info Studio, 267A Etam Ian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. Yes, I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Auditions hosts the very first outdoor auditions at our studio, right here in Victoria Island on Saturday, January 25th, time 8 a.m. This in-person audition is for secondary school students who missed the deadline of our online entry. If you've already entered the competition online, you don't have to come for the live audition. To register, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm to pick a topic for your live auditions. Click on the I Beg to Differ banner on the homepage. Carefully read the guidelines and choose a topic. Remember the date, Saturday, January 25th, time 8 a.m. Venue is Nigeria Info Studios 267A, Etim Ian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. The debate of your life begins here. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Listeners trust us on Hatchback. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories, you know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Yeah, we're still talking about the new Telcos Tariff hike. In other words, you're not going to be paying 4 naira again for text message. You know, that amount you used to pay for 1 minute call, that they will even be telling you 1 minute, you have 1 minute remaining. Nah, it's not going to be anymore. Things are changing, but how ready are you for that change? My guest here is saying that, look, it's a no-brainer whether this is going to happen or not. It is going to happen because that's the reality of things on the ground. And the earlier we agree with this, the better for us. But how ready are you as the average Nigerian, the average fish pepper seller, the businessman in what was that? Trade firm? Yes, for the person that is in Alaba International. The guy in Balogun Market, the person that is in what's this market? Yaba. Are you ready for the increase in telcos? When I say telco, we're talking about phone. The price of airtime and data. Data might be a bit stable according to our guest, but how ready are you for this increase? And if you obviously work in the telecommunications sector, what are the things that you're ready to negotiate or part with if the government is saying, we're not going to let you do 100%? What are the incentives that you would hope that government would give to you that would let you say, okay, we'll keep it at 30 or 50 or 80? We'd like to hear from you. It's a potpourri of issues because it's not just about increasing the tariff, but what about the infrastructure around telcos? We also know that as they're vandalizing electricity infrastructure, same goes also for telcos. A lot of times you hear some of these companies complaining about vandalization. And then, of course, the issue of running on diesel and the increase in the price of diesel. It's a lot of things. Let's talk Lagos. 0201-277-0993. That's the number for you to call if you are male. For the females, 0201-465-7190. On WhatsApp, it's 080-959-75805. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. Post your comments, your questions. Let us hear. If you're living outside of Nigeria and you want to be part of the conversation, post your comments on our live stream. We'd like to hear from you. 60 seconds is all you have. Go straight to the point. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Yeah, actually, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. They've tried. Let them increase. Every other thing is going up. Even on the government part, are they not increase whatever they have in their day? So let them, we all are in for it too. No problem. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Maryann, good evening.
Good evening.
Oladipo.
Go ahead.
I'm calling from Orile. Sorry, Maryann, it's like we should just buckle up, like they used to say, that get ready, the flight is about to move. This season we want to enter is not going to be funny. And like your guest said, even if from the government side of it, they've increased things now astronomically. They themselves, they've increased things astronomically. So I don't know how we are going to come out of this. Thank you and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling. How do we get out of this? It's a situation that we found ourselves in. I don't know when. I don't know how. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Sam from Owe.
Hello, Sam.
Oh, thank you. Like the last caller have said, all other sectors have increased. This is one of the best things any government have done for us since the beginning of this democracy. They gave us this telephone calls. It's very good. As I'm supposed there's one other sector that is as big as this, taking a lot of jobs, giving a lot of jobs to Nigeria. Nigeria should have been better than this. So we should be able to increase. I don't think ordinary yam, pepper seller, tomato and so on, they have increased so much. We shouldn't bother about it. But what is there is that there should be the service delivery should improve when they increase. That is my own suggestion for them.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts. The phone lines are all lit up. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Maryann, good evening.
Chineyonwa, baby. Go ahead.
Now that they want to increase the tariff. So, in fact, they are just helping you. Now that you are giving us for 1 minute. It's better you give us 2 minutes so that we talk all the whole time like you want to talk.
We are even helping you. We are helping you to save your credit.
We'll talk all the whole. They are helping you now. At least 1 minute, everybody will just go and sleep. You understand? So give us 2 minutes now. Let us talk all the whole talk that you want to talk. Let's go.
Very funny. Okay. Thank you very much for calling. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good evening, Maryann.
Good evening.
Yeah, we have Emmanuel on the line speaking to you from Ekwe.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
I can't blame them if they say they want to increase their tariff, but it seems there is a systematic increase. Because the value of what I used to have in terms of call making and data, I don't think I'm getting the same value today. So they should try as much as possible to be transparent to us, rather than doing systematic increase and then coming out today that they want to do a open increase. And again, they should improve on their infrastructure. Yes, some people are saying the funds they are getting is not up to what you use to pay staff and then increase the infrastructure value, because today, if you want to make calls, sometimes the network are very bad. Sometimes I will stay 2-3 days, I can't access the internet. So they should try as much as possible and do better in those aspects. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Manuel, for calling. I do appreciate it. Keep those calls coming. We're live, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM and on YouTube, Nigeria Info. Hello. Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Maryann.
I can hear you. Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sorry, Temitope from Ikorodu.
Hi, Temitope. Go ahead, please.
I'm fine. Talking of increment at the first month of the year, does it make any sense? The year is still fresh. I don't think you need to be talking about this at this point of the time. Thank you, Maryann.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling. The year is still early and fresh. Sorry about that. Do call me back if that was you. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann.
Good evening.
Good evening. I greet you. Pin up, babe.
Yes.
Yes, there's something I want to ask you. Do you know those days what this network they used to do? Anytime they will have holidays, they give us free text messages to text to every. They will give you 100 or 50 text messages.
Oh God, that was then. Now when things were good.
They even give you free call for holiday time. Why is it that this network, they always take from us? They don't give back to the society. Why is it like that? In this holiday time, people will need text messages to text to their family and friends. They will always send you message, Happy New Year, Happy this one. What are they giving back?
They have given you something.
Every time they will increase. What is all this? In January, there is like 4 months in January. They are still increasing. These people should not try us. My name is Dan P. from Igondo.
Dan P., thank you very much for calling. Mr. Mohammed, see, the people are saying they should not try them. That the networks used to be very nice, but now they're no longer nice. What's the issue?
I think from the callers, I think they are of the view that they should, at least if not only one caller that said that he doesn't think it's too early at the beginning of the year. When you're in business, it doesn't matter what time you have to do the increment. I think that's the only one that we see. It's just that's what I keep saying. The Nigerians are not difficult people. You let them know the reason, and if they see value for it, then they'll be open to it. All of us know that we've enjoyed a lot from the telecoms because they are the only one that can say that price have remained the same for over, I think, for over 10 years or 10 to 15 years. So for me, I think it's a no-brainer, like I've said. So it's good that most Nigerians also understand the challenges that these telecoms are going through, and so they are able to sympathize with them. But I think the telecom also should sympathize with Nigeria. Like those days, like that caller said, we used to have free calls, weekend free calls, 7 to 8, you enjoy free calls. But I think those are part of the incentive that we might see. Even if you do that now without improving your infrastructure, that will be a big problem also, because then you have a lot of people gathering at that particular time to make those calls. Remember those days, and those calls will not go because a lot of people are queuing at that time. So I think the best thing, why they want this thing is towards improvement in the infrastructure. So if they are saying they are doing it to improve infrastructure, so we don't have all these drop calls, that is good. So for me, like I said, we are just expecting, but I think it will come with a little bit of maybe a lot of other incentives for Nigeria. That's what will make it even more attractive. Remember that we have price war in the telecom sector. So
I was about to say, I was about to come to that data part, because there are networks who, even in their advertorials, make bold to say that they give you the cheapest data, the cheapest calls, the cheapest text messages. And then there are those who say, they are cheap, but are they stable? Are they clear? You know, there's a war, of course, we know that. Is that what we're going to also see in this tariff hike? Will some people try to make as much as they increase their prices, but would they make it more friendlier so they can get more people migrating to their network, or what exactly are we going to be seeing?
Well, again, we have choices to make. So that's the beauty. You can make your choices. Remember that you can port one network to another. So you make choices. But again, in making our choices, we need to look at that infrastructural side. I don't want to mention a particular network. You know that infrastructure in that part of that network have been very bad because it's not been stable in terms of investor coming in to invest in that particular network. And again, you mustn't forget that this telecom also are being owned money, especially by the bank, using the USSD code. That also is ongoing, and the telecom NCC is also handling that. So there's a lot of things ongoing for them. I think at the end of the day, we might just see a price war, and we could see price come down, like what we've seen in other sectors. We are seeing that in the petroleum sector today. We are seeing that some are saying, oh, depot prices have gone up. Some people say, no, our own price will remain the same. So that's the beauty of capitalism. That's the beauty of competition. So I expect that to come up in the telecom sector. Remember, before now, some telecoms made us to believe that per second is not obtainable. It will take years for them to do that. When one come in, then everybody within 2 weeks, everybody was back to per second. So there will be a lot of price war, and that price war will be driven by incentives. So Nigeria will have variety of what to choose from. But I think the bottom line, why I'm excited about it, is there will be an improvement in terms of the infrastructure.
Lovely. Let's take some more calls because there are questions coming, especially for data. Now, we have people who have gone to fiber optic. Some people are still, some of them don't even give you call time. All they give is data. And the question is, for those of us who use all those satellite networks and all of that for our data, are we going to be affected also in this 100% tariff hike?
Of course, you will. Remember, like I told you, is it what the global data company owned by, is it Speedlink, owned by Elon Musk? They also Starlink. I think Starlink. They also increased, and you remember the NCC told them to withdraw it, and they have suspended it. So definitely, when that happens, when there's an increment, it's going to be an all-round increment. even those of us that have Wi-Fi in our home, we should expect that some of these data companies will increase their prices and everything. So, but the beauty about it is that data is a new way to go. So we want to see those improvements, and if that happen increment, then there should be an improvement in the infrastructure.
Okay.
And remember, the government also is playing a role by saying they will be laying optical cable also. So these are part of the things that the telecom, that I feel that the NCC will be dealing with the telecom company and say that we also have an investment that's helping you in here. We are laying the cable for you to benefit from it. And so hopefully we'll see government protecting Nigeria because of the interest they have also in these telecom companies.
All right. More calls are coming in. Hello, welcome to Balogo and Broad. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do call me back if that was you. Hello.
Hello, Maryann.
Good evening. Welcome to Balogo and Broad. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Emeka is my name from Salad Town, and good evening to your guest.
Go ahead.
It's long overdue, as a matter of fact, in the light of the harsh economic climate situation that we have in the country, along with the free flow of the naira, where the dollar has risen astronomically. So I was expecting it to put together the overhead cost of running this business. And if they must keep the jobs of Nigerians, those people who are benefiting from these telecoms, it is imperative that they do the increment. But one thing I love, like a guest alluded to, is the fact that the minister, both current and past ones, have been very, very conscious of Nigerians, how to protect Nigerians and protect the rights of Nigerians, unlike the electricity sector. So it's something that must be done. But we hope and pray that along with the increment will come better services so that Nigerians can get true value for whatever increment that is coming.
Okay.
So it's not their fault. It's something that was meant to happen anyway. Thank you.
All right, Emeka, thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Balogo and Broad.
Hello. Good evening, Maryann. This is Joy from Eba.
Hello, Joy.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's very, very annoying. Everything tax. Food we eat, tax. Now it's that when we the network we are using now, they are putting another one. So that means even the air we breathe, very soon they will tell us. If they find a way, they will tax us. They will tax us. It is well. This is our country. We are not running away. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy, for calling. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. So sorry. Please call us back. Hello, welcome to Balogo and Broad.
Hello, Maryann.
Yes, good evening.
Hello, are you hearing me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
This is the one of Odogolu.
Go ahead.
You see, I expect that since a long time when this man take over the government, because all the antenna, even the one in my backyard, they are using diesel to operate their antenna here. And I wonder, there's no day that generator will off. And I now calculate how much they will be spending in a day to maintain that kind of cost. So if they increase it the way we can able to pay, it's okay. But they should not do it the way poor man like me will not be able to use my phone again because I'm going to fight them.
Okay.
Let them do it the way I can pay. And see because I use the phone too much. I use my phone for business. I use it for everything I do in my business. So if they increase it the way I cannot able to afford it again, it will cause trouble between me and them. Just warn them, Just tell them, I beg.
All right, thank you very much for calling. Hello, welcome to Balogo and Broad.
Hello, Maryann.
Good evening.
Good evening, my sister.
Yes.
Yay. Again, no kwa. So, not be one thing with the sick, now so many things with the sick. How about when the network is not clear, Uncle? What would they do? Because this increase, 100% increase in tariff, everything increase.
Well, we're not certain if it's going to be 100% because the Minister for Communication is saying that government might not let it be 100% because of certain things.
I beg you, may they be considerate to, may they not kill us for this country. We don't have another country to run to. That's my own Zoma on the line.
Thank you, Zoma, for calling. We appreciate it. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good morning, Maryann.
Good night.
Good evening, sorry. No vex, I beg. Na problem. You do plenty. This is Malik speaking, Maryann.
Go ahead, Malik.
Maryann, the telescope are all scam. Like I said certain time ago, the former chairman of the Nigeria Telecommunication, what's his name again? Something, is it Okonkwo? I can't remember his name. During that Obasanjo government time, he put them on their toes. If they are saying because of whatever increment of diesel or petrol or anything, some of them are using CNG in their office. Is CNG expensive? Maryann, there's a network. If you are buying 27 gig data, they give you 40 gig at night, then free calls at a certain time, at a certain period. I'll be free. You have extra calls, something like that, for 6.5. But it's not more there again. I remember they've increased before. Before buying your 1 gig for 1 day was 300 naira, but now it's 350 naira. For some time ago, it was an increment. So they talk about increment. Is the network good? Sometimes you will pick your call on this station, you will not hear the person talking to you. Who is paying for that one?
Okay.
What about the drop calls? You'll be touching that one not. Who is paying for it? I've not seen when you finish talking, you cannot end the call. You should be counting.
Okay, Malik. Thank you. I can tell that you're very mad about this.
They're all scammers.
Okay, thank you, Malik, for calling. You seem really angry about this, but let me read some messages before we let my guest go because our time is fast spent. Someone here says, why are we like this in this part of the world? In this kind of hardship, you're increasing your tariff. Anyway, may God help us. Ibrahim Tohib sent us that message. This one here says, there is the issue on making calls. The person will not be hearing you, or you will not be hearing the person, and your airtime will be burning. Who is to compensate the customers for this issue? Joseph from Ugudu. I'm coming back to you, Mr. Muktah, because all the questions that people are asking is based on, okay, all of the lapses in these connections and our airtime running, and, you know, who's going to pay for it? How do we get some sort of compensation? Because, I mean, I'm guessing, if you ask me, this is part of the regulations that the communication minister is talking about to make sure that we're not being ripped off. But how soon are we going to see those things come to light?
SCC have been fantastic, so hopefully we'll see them do more in that. Before now, there were a lot of telecom companies that were fined in terms of things like that. So I expect that to continue. So I'm not, I think that won't be a problem, especially those are part of the discussion I feel that is ongoing. But again, there must be an improvement in those sectors for us to see all those things happen.
Okay, let me just take one more call before I let you go, because I know our time is fast, but I don't think I can actually take a call because our time is gone. But I want to say thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Muktah Mohammed is an economist. Always a pleasure to have him in the studio with us because he always explains these things so that the average person can understand what they're up against. Well, this is us keeping our fingers crossed and hoping for the best to come out of this, because every time government makes a promise, we're always watching to see if they can, you know, bring that promise to fruition. Thank you once again, Mr. Mohammed, for coming on the show.
My pleasure always. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, Lagos, there you have it. Our time is fast spent. I want to say thank you all for being part of the conversation. We're going to go for a break, and then when we come back, David will have some information for us. But don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, MIMIEYO. That's MIMIEYO on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Threads. And I think I'm on Blue Sky now, for those of you who care about it. On Facebook, I'm Maryann Okon, and on LinkedIn, I think I'm Maryann Okon. I love you, Lagos. We'll be back tomorrow on Global Review, and we will be talking on the other side of the clock, on the 5 o'clock hour, about the pension situation, because everybody's complaining about their pensions, including the guys we're celebrating today, the soldiers who've laid their lives down. And who is following the monies to make sure that these monies are paid to people on time? Thank God for contributory pension scheme, but then how many people still are being owed years after they left service? These are the conversations we'll be having tomorrow. My name is Maryann Okon. Once again, I love you, Lagos. Bye-bye.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Are you thinking of a romantic getaway, a family vacation, a reunion with old friends, your dream?
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.